River City Podcast Federation.
Welcome back to Laughing in the Dark, the podcast where I hang out in haunted places with comedians. I'm your host, Sara Jones. For this episode, I got to hang out at the Barlow Trail Roadhouse with the very funny Milan Patel. Milan is a talented comedian from Portland, Oregon, who has performed at Bridgetown Comedy Festival, Bumbershoot, and 10,000 Laughs in Minneapolis. The Barlow Trail Roadhouse is a creepy cabin restaurant situated in the middle of the woods in Welches, Oregon, right by Mount Hood. Rick, the owner, was kind enough to let Milan and I stay after close in the dark to explore this haunted home. If you want, make sure you take a look at our Instagram at Lit Dark Podcast for pictures that go along with this episode. That's at LITDARK Podcast. Here's the episode. I hope you love it. Okay, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. So we are at the Barlow Trail Roadhouse. The Barlow Trail Roadhouse is a log cabin in the woods. It's close to Mount Hood. It was built in 1926 by a man named Bill Lenz and named after a famous toll road constructed by a man named Sam Barlow. So before I keep going, let's describe where we are. So this is it's like a log cabin.
Yeah.
It feels like a family home, like a family log cabin to me.
Yeah, like when you drive by it, you're like, oh, this will probably be I thought it was gonna be a bigger restaurant than it was.
Yeah.
Because you look at it and you're like, oh, this is like a cool roadside diner. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff happening, and then we walk in, it's pretty quiet in here.
You feel like you're welcomed into someone's home.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it feels.
Yeah,
to me.
it is. It's pretty cozy.
There's a fireplace in here. Yeah. It's a log cabin.
Yeah. It's close quarters, kind of.
Close quarters, stuff on the walls.
It's got this classic Oregon roadside diner decor. Got some deer heads. You got some old photos.
Yeah, and kitschy little jokes in the bathroom.
Kitschy little jokes everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's kind of some creepy, you wouldn't think it was creepy, but in this context, it is creepy of little kids, like a drawing of a child, and then it's says something underneath it, this is Thomas, and he didn't eat his apples, or something like that.
That sounds so scary.
It's creepy in that in this context.
Yeah, in this context, it's scary, but I think.
But mostly, it's pretty nice.
It's a cool, but it does feel like you're welcomed into someone's home.
Yeah.
You're over at someone's house, maybe your grandparents' house for dinner.
Yeah.
Or for breakfast, too. It seems like they have really good breakfast.
It seems like yeah.
That's what he said. They're more popular for their breakfast, too.
I saw a lot of items. I did eat the spaghetti.
Oh, yeah. Milan got spaghetti, and it was the best spaghetti he's ever had.
I don't know about that, but it was very good spaghetti. For $5.95, it was the best spaghetti I've ever gotten.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so, like I said, this was built in 1926 by a man named Bill Lenz, and it was named after a famous toll road constructed by a man named Sam Barlow. Sam Barlow was a pioneer on the Oregon Trail who established Barlow Road, which was credited as the final segment on the Oregon Trail.
Okay.
So that's where we're located.
This is the final segment of the Oregon Trail?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the Oregon Trail stops here.
Okay.
On Barlow Road, and that's where we are.
Okay.
Before I keep going, I'm going to do a quick rundown of my sources. I always do this. I don't have a lot for this episode. It's the Barlow Trail Roadhouse website, barlowtrailroadhouse.com, Wikipedia, and Rick Exley, the owner of the Barlow Trail Roadhouse, gave me a lot of first-hand personal accounts that we're going to talk about.
Rick is dope.
Mm-hmm. Rick is the man. So originally, this building was a general store and later became the Barlow Trail Inn. So that little door, there's a little, what is that, like a balcony?
Little balcony, yeah.
Yeah, there's a balcony with a door in the middle of it.
Yeah.
that has been creeping us out since we got here.
Yeah.
And we're not supposed to go in there.
Yeah, only because I know a little bit about it, but I think you're going to get to that in a second. But it in and of itself is very, because I think just from down here it looks very small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's all small because things were just like smaller.
Yeah, and I think like a small door is always scary for some reason. Mm-hmm. Like a big door is just like, no, I'm sure there's like, there's like what could be behind there, like a cow or something, but like
the small door, it's only a haunted child.
Yeah, the
like,
smaller it is, the smaller things that can get into it. I feel like.
Creepy critters.
So yeah, there is that door up there.
I think a door in general that's shut that you're not supposed to go into. There's a certain type of creepy appeal to that.
There's a mystique.
Mm-hmm. There is. So it's basically like this. We're in a log cabin, and then there's this balcony right behind us, kind of in the middle of the building. And right in the middle of the balcony is a door that we're not supposed to go into. Great.
Because the last person who went in there broke their shit.
Yeah, in multiple places somehow. So. And then, Rick was out of a cook, and that sucked. Yeah.
So either it's haunted or it's just very poorly organized.
Yeah, and it's probably a little both.
Yeah.
So it became the Barlow Trail Inn. It had a reputation for having the best food on the loop to the Timberline. Okay. Which is a ski lodge on the south side of Mount Hood, and the best girls upstairs. Okay. So it was a bordello until 1960. Okay. A bordello, if you don't know, is a whorehouse. That's essentially what it was. So it was a popular stop for miners, construction workers, and local loggers. In 2001, the restaurant was renamed to The Territory, which pissed a lot of people off because it kind of takes away from the history of the Barlow Trail that Sam Barlow put here, right? So to appease the masses, they later renamed the restaurant the Barlow Trail Roadhouse to include that historic Barlow Trail in the name and preserve some history here, which I think is cool.
That is cool.
The current owners have owned the Barlow Trail Roadhouse since 2004. Their names are Susie and Rick Exley. And Rick is who we met tonight. Yeah. He's a good guy. They have been able to determine the names of the spirits that haunt this place with the help of mediums and paranormal investigators that have explored the building. For those listening right now, they are closing up the restaurant. So you might hear some crashes. Those might be ghosts, but most likely they're people closing up.
Yeah, it's just people trying to clean up. And
the back of it. And I mean, like, probably some ghosts. Yeah. And there's 3 here, so like they're
there's a kitchen ghost, there's a server ghost, there's a bar back ghost.
Yeah. And then there's like all the people working too. So the 3 spirits identified here were named Peter, Gene, and one was either Mike or Ike.
Mike or Ike.
I know. I mean, I think it's just hard to tell if there was an M there. But it made me laugh because it's like Mike and Ike.
Mike or Ike.
It was like Mike or Ike. I don't know.
Sure.
But definitely Peter or Gene. Okay. Rick, the owner, has been kind enough to share with me the paranormal experiences that they've had in this building. So, first of all, I talked about them changing the name back to using Barlow in the name. It seems as though the spirits were happy that they decided to keep the name Barlow in the restaurant because when it was called The Territory, they noticed that there was a touchless hand towel dispenser that would go off about 3 times a day without anybody there.
Okay.
And it was wasting paper.
Yeah. Generally
frustrating everyone, I'm sure. And they didn't necessarily think this was anything to worry about, really. It was just kind of weird. But they realized that right after they changed the name back to the Barlow Trail Roadhouse, it stopped.
Okay.
So that was interesting.
Interesting.
Rick also told me about a time that they were all discussing the spirits that are in this house, and a wooden screen door in the back slammed shut. The door was an interior door, so it was not pushed by any kind of outside draft. And the kitchen was closed, and all other doors were dead-bolted, so they have no explanation for how it could have been slammed shut.
It was a sliding door, too.
It was a screen door.
It was a screen door.
So it was like a screen door just slammed shut right when they were talking about the ghosts. Whoa. And it was an inner door. It wasn't like an outside.
Yeah. Gotcha.
These will just get progressively worse. So I'm starting easy, and then we're going to
So far, I'm not spooked.
Good. Okay, great. So we're in good graces. Okay. Yeah. About 3 months after the new owners took over the Barlow Trail Roadhouse, a previous manager walked back into the building just to kind of check it out and see how they're going and whatever. Just as he walked in, a TV from the shelf flew 3 feet, but sideways. Like,
Whoa.
It turned sideways and flew 3 feet, landed face down on a concrete mantle, and somehow did not break, which is fortunate. Rick says the former manager turned white and walked right back out the door and did not come back.
And this was a former manager, meaning that they worked here before, and they're like, that's enough.
And right when he walked in, the TV turned and then flew.
Well, he must have not been a good manager.
Maybe. Yeah. And the ghosts were just like, we've had enough of you. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
We've had enough of your poor management.
Yeah, we thought you were done. Get out of here. Maybe he was like a womanizer. Because it was like a bordello and...
this was like back then. Okay.
This was recent.
Okay.
But
maybe they like sensed his like they use a bad guy or whatever.
Yeah, maybe they were like glad to be rid of him when he got back, and they were like, well,
so who's dead again? Mike, Ike, and who?
Mike and Ike
Mike
are the same
Ike.
person. It's Mike or Ike, and then there's Peter and Jean.
Okay.
So Jean is the only female.
So if there's any point where we contact any of the ghosts in this room, that's really the only thing that I care about is your name Mike or is it Ike?
We don't know.
Yeah.
But you can figure it out.
But if we can,
when you ask.
Yeah. Maybe there'll be
Mike or Ike, if you're here, could you clear this up for us? Is it Mike or is it Ike?
Do anything. You can shake the chandelier. You can move something.
I've never done this on an episode.
You can just say Mike. That would be the easiest. Verbally tell me if it. Don't flash your door. I don't want to see that door, especially in the dark.
You're looking at the upside.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't like that. Ugh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay,
it creeps me out.
I didn't even think to look at it.
I can't believe you wanted to go there. Sarah was like, can we go up there? No, absolutely not.
It seemed like the scariest part.
It is the scariest part, and also...
Wait till you find out where we're sitting.
Okay. Just don't flash your light on that door. I don't care about anything else.
I won't.
I don't give a fuck about Mike or Ike or...
tempted to do it when you say don't do it. Like, you have to know. Wouldn't it be fucking rad if I go to edit and it's like, it's Mike.
Yeah. Hey, it's me, Mike.
Hey, it's Mike here.
Yeah, sorry about the confusion. I don't know what we thought, but, it was definitely Mike. I guess somebody might have scratched out the M or something, but it's like a very... Yeah. It's clearly Mike, okay? Just want to clear that up. He leaves it like a voicemail. It's like a voicemail.
Anyway, it was good talking to you.
And one more thing. I think I forgot. No, I'll call back later. Okay. I mean, never mind.
I'll haunt you later.
I'll haunt back later.
See you later. Tonight, we'll go over this tonight.
And then he makes like a beep, beep.
That'd be so rad.
No?
We should probably leave a long pause just for Mike to interject.
Yeah.
Or Ike. It could be Ike.
I'm pretty sure it's Mike.
I feel like if it's Mike, it definitely would have the voice that you just used.
I think what we should do is we call him Mike, and then if it's clearly not that, I think something will happen because someone will get bothered. Because based off that last part of that story, when somebody that they don't like comes in, something happens. So we just have to do something that annoys. You know what I mean?
You want to, okay.
Just lightly agitate. I don't think that we deserve to die over this, but I don't.
I hope you don't die over this because I think I'm liable. But I have insurance. So
you have ghost insurance?
Well, I have business insurance. I don't know if that covers death.
I don't think it covers ghosts.
I don't. Well,
ghouls, goblins, ghosts.
I mean, if that's my business, then. Well, anyway.
All right.
Okay, cool. So.
We don't need to argue about your LLC.
It's like, I know what it covers. I have no idea. Just pay for it. Milan is sick, and he was good enough to come out to my show anyway. So thank you very much for that.
I'm coughing off Mike.
Yeah, or Ike.
I'm coughing off Ike.
Coughing Ike out. What if you coughed a bunch and then your voice completely changed and you got possessed?
Yeah, by Mike.
I'd be like,
Hey, Hey, it's me, Mike, again. I just remembered the last thing I was going to talk about. If you look in the bathroom, there is a bloody rag in the left stall. Just want to tell you that. Okay, bye. Oh, one more thing. I forgot. Okay, beep.
You go into the bathroom and you like, you know, like in horror movies where you're looking in the mirror, they're looking in the mirror, and then the like angle turns, and then there's like a ghost in the mirror with them.
Yeah, but it's just Mike.
Like he's like, hey, it's me.
He's just like eating spaghetti. He's just like, hey, help myself to some spaghetti. Hope that's okay.
Oh, hey, it's me.
Oh, hey, it's me. And you're not even scared. You're like, oh, hey, Mike.
He acts surprised to see you.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're like, oh.
He's scared by you.
Sorry, didn't expect to get caught eating the spaghetti.
I know this is the ladies' room while you're in here.
While I got you, I gotta tell you one more thing. He's just telling you about things, like messes that he made. It's not even blood, it's just spaghetti rags that he put everywhere.
I want to say I'm sorry about that.
Sorry about the spaghetti rags. I gotta stop eating these carbs. I'm getting out of shape.
Oh my god.
He's like out of breath.
I love Mike. I didn't know I was going to love Mike this much, but I really do. Yeah. All right, so yeah, this manager walks in. The TV turns sideways and then flies 3 feet.
Okay.
Landed face down on a concrete mantle. It didn't break.
Who witnessed this exactly?
Rick did. So Rick was here. He watched the former manager walk in. This happened.
Okay.
This wasn't the only time a TV went flying off the shelf either. They had a regular who actually worked here 40 years ago when she was 21 years old. Now she's around 60 something, and she was a regular for like 4 years, would just like come in and eat and drink, whatever. And she returned as a job applicant. Okay. So the owners, Rick and Susie, were discussing this applicant at length. They were kind of trying to decide if, you know, they wanted to hire her, you know. And when she returned the next day, that same TV flew about 8 feet forward.
Whoa.
And it landed right behind her feet, and this happened in front of all 3 of them. They all watched this happen.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. She had worked here a long time ago. She'd also been a regular for 4 years, and besides seeing glasses being thrown, which was like a typical thing here, she had no other incidents until then.
Okay.
Another incident happened when Rick's partner Susie was serving drinks, and he says a bar glass flew sideways inexplicably, like off a tray, and landed at her feet, but it did not break.
Okay.
So for some reason, I find it more disturbing that the glass didn't break.
Yeah.
Like the gentle landing of the glass next to her.
Yeah.
It is eerie to me.
It is
like
eerie.
Having a glass like fly off and shatter would be one thing.
Yeah.
But to have it fly off and just land and gently.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's creepy. That would be eerie to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty nice carpet in here. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Once you're done with your wine, why don't you throw it and then we'll see. We'll see if it breaks.
What if I threw it and it just landed back?
I would leave. I would leave.
And I'm just like, these ghosts are considerate.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say... They make sure the TV doesn't break. They make sure the glasses don't break.
Oh, if anything moves, I'm leaving.
Really?
I'm not going to say anything.
And go where? To my car?
Yeah, I'll just go to your car.
Okay.
I'm not hanging on here.
That's fine. This is why I have everyone with an individual lav, so if someone runs, I'm not like, that's a really close microphone.
You're still getting the content? You're just going to hear me outside.
I'm Blair Witching it. I'm scared right now.
Scared.
I just want to say I'm sorry to Mike's mom.
And so full from the spaghetti. I wish I wouldn't eat so much spaghetti.
In the Blair Witch, wasn't that guy's name Mike that like dies and they find his tongue?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to Mike's mom, but it's also the name of the ghost here.
Yeah, that's the Mike. That must be the same.
Yeah, that sucked. Yeah. I don't do the voice.
It's me, Mike, from the Blair Witch Project. Hey, it turns out I'm alive. I mean
after alive.
I mean, kinda.
Not really.
Yeah. I wasn't really living when I was living anyways.
That's profound. Yeah. The most active spirit in the home is Jean.
Okay.
So before those ghost investigators picked up on the names of the 3 spirits, the owners referred to them as the miner, the cowboy, and Mary.
Okay.
So Mary was the female entity, but really her name is Jean.
Okay.
Later, like I said, the identity of the female entity was revealed to be Jean, and the other two were named Peter and our favorite, Mike or Ike.
So which one is which?
Peter.
Peter's which one? He's the...
Well, we don't know if they're the miner or the cowboy. We don't know as much about those because Jean is the most active spirit here.
Okay.
But I talked to the owner, I talked to Rick a little bit about, well, why did you call them a miner and a cowboy?
Yeah.
Well, remember that regular who came back to apply here? She said one time she was sitting up at the bar top over there, and she was sitting next to the cowboy, and she was talking to him like it was a person, and then he vanished. So she actually had an interaction with him, and she's who told them, oh yeah, there's a miner, there's a cowboy, and then there's a woman, we call her Mary. And until the investigators came in, they said, no, it's Peter, Mike or Ike, and Jean.
Okay.
So we don't know which is which.
She talked to somebody at the bar who she thought was a real person, but it was a cowboy?
Mm-hmm. Or the miner. I don't know which of the two it was. It was one of those.
He was talking to a cowboy or a miner. And
they vanished while she was talking to them.
Yeah.
So she witnessed this and was like, what the fuck? And so yeah. Originally, they had a dry storage room that was located in a separate building, and it was over there, where the kitchen is.
Okay.
Jean has been seen several times as an apparition sitting in a corner booth.
Oh my god. Is that why there's only one seat here?
Looking out the window up to Mount Hood.
Oh my god. Which one am I sitting in? Which way is Mount Hood?
Her spot.
Gross.
I'm sorry. But right when you were like, should I sit here? This is where I should sit. I was like, yeah.
No, you jerk.
Yeah, so this is where Jean has been seen sitting.
I'm in a ghost spot.
Yeah, you're in her favorite spot. Looking up the window, across here, you can't see Mount Hood, but she's looking towards Mount Hood over here.
Oh, okay.
She does not appreciate her view being blocked. So they found this out the hard way when they had a bigger bartender named Jeff, and he paused too long between the juice machine and the coffee station, which is right over there. We'll go back and look at it. It's where the bathroom is?
Yeah.
Right behind it, in between the main dining room and the kitchen.
Yeah.
There's the juice and coffee station.
Okay.
So he was standing right there, and this kind of blocks her view. If she's over there, I guess. I don't get how she sits here and looks at the mountain. But she doesn't like people just standing in between the kitchen and the coffee and juice machine.
Okay. She's really particular.
Yeah, she's particular. So they found this out the hard way when a big bartender named Jeff paused too long between the juice machine and coffee station, blocking the path from the dry storage room over there through the kitchen and into the dining room we're sitting right now. Suddenly, trays flew sideways from the juice machine, violently smacking the coffee machine.
Oh, man.
Jeff, who was a skeptic, suddenly became a believer of the ghosts, and he now knows better than to block Jean's view.
Okay.
After Jeff told Rick, the owner, about the incident, they heard pots and pans slamming around the dry storage room. When Rick suggested they go investigate, Jeff declined.
Mm-hmm.
I totally would have checked it out.
Wait, what?
The pots and pans being flown around?
Yeah.
I would have wanted to see what was going on.
Yeah, I guess. Mm-hmm. I'd be like...
Later, Rick found himself accidentally pausing too long, blocking the kitchen from the dining room in the same spot, and a tray was thrown again, causing Rick to reflexively yell, "Jean, knock it off."
Okay.
So he's come to this place where he kind of just accepts that she's here.
Yeah, so he's cool with her.
Yeah.
There's hella people here right now.
Yeah.
You can't. Was it doing that before? Yeah, it was doing it. It's just a door.
Where is it?
It's just that door in between the bar and this. Wait. It's just right there, in between the bar and next to the water station. It's just people going through it.
Oh, okay. Well, what about that one?
Stop doing that. If that door opens, I'm leaving.
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
And then Rick's head pops out. He's like, I told you not to come here.
They're like, Rick's been dead for 40 years. Yeah. So Rick has come to the conclusion that he believes Jean once lived in that separate building that was once the dry storage, and that she would pace from there to sit by this window where you're sitting, waiting for someone that she loved to come back home down the mountain.
Oh.
He feels that she may have disapproved of the name change because there was a chance that her lover would not recognize the building, that maybe he only knew the name of the place.
Yeah.
So she was so desperate for her lover to find her again that she didn't want to risk confusing him in hopes of his eventual return.
Yeah.
So if it's not called Barlow something, what if he doesn't find it?
Right. Which makes sense.
When a ghost investigator team, you're going to love this, came to explore the building, an investigator sat in Jean's favorite spot, where you're sitting.
Okay.
They didn't capture anything until the investigator eventually stood up from the booth. And after she stood up, they didn't hear anything at the time, but on the audio...
Go ahead, just say
Okay, on the audio, they heard a voice saying, "Don't touch me."
Oh.
This is the same team, actually, that picked up the names of the 3 spirits that are here.
Yeah.
Other paranormal activity has been reported here as well. Once a bartender came into work and felt overwhelmed by the stress and general atmosphere that her coworkers were bringing into the workspace. She said it was too much testosterone going on.
Okay.
Referring to the female cook and 2 servers she was working with. I said this is fairly understandable if you've ever worked in the service industry or in that setting. It can get pretty intense.
Sure.
So the bartender headed to the ladies' room to get some space and cool off before heading back into the chaos of the restaurant.
Okay.
While she was sitting in there, the air freshener went off. Like a spray air freshener. The hand towel was dispensed, the automatic hand towel, and the lid of the trash can was smacked by an invisible force, causing it to swing even though she was alone in there. Trying to calm down. Of all incidences, and she's like, and then we're haunted.
We're haunted.
Of course, Rick mentions casually, they have had their fair share of TVs turning on and off randomly, various other items jumping off the shelves, and other incidences of trays being thrown when Jean gets in a mood.
Okay, hopefully she's not in the mood tonight.
Well, you are in her favorite spot.
Yeah, I do feel her cupping my ass with her hands. She's like, get off.
She's like, don't touch me.
Yeah, stop touching me. I'll make room for her. I feel like that's the least I could do.
Yeah.
I don't like being in the corner now. I don't like being in this spot. But I feel for her, because, like, I feel for, like looking out and, like, waiting for something. I look out longingly through windows. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're, like, looking towards the mountain, like, waiting for somebody to come back. I empathize, you know?
Yeah, it's
I get
especially sad after death. And then you wonder if she's still alive.
Yeah.
Or if she believes she's still alive. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I never think about that. Like, how would you even know if you were gone? You just think like you're a part of things, but no one notices you.
I mean, that happens to me sometimes.
It happens to people in real life. So, yeah, who knows if you're like a ghost in real life sometimes.
Yeah, maybe.
So I empathize with Jean. Don't know much about Mike.
Or Ike.
It's Mike. Or Ike. It could be Ike.
It might be Mike.
Okay, Mike, give us something. Throw a TV or something if you're gonna... It's Mike. Yeah, it's Mike. He would have done something.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get something out of Mike. And then what's the other one?
Peter.
Don't do that. Stop flashing your light in weird directions.
Well, I just kind of want to see what else is here. It's so dark.
It's just scary.
I know. I mean...
It's like the point of the podcast, I guess.
It's kind of fun.
It is fun, yeah. It's the same things that I saw.
I want to go in that door so bad.
Yeah.
I don't need my shins.
We're not gonna do that.
We can't.
I'm more afraid of just like Rick like scolding me. I don't know, man. I just want to go home.
You can't. We're trapped here.
Yeah.
We are now part of the spirit world here.
See, that would be kind of cool.
Wouldn't it be nuts if we left and then this whole place was like, oh, that's not an actual restaurant. That's been closed for like 100 years.
I wouldn't. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I see a sign right now for Italian sausage spaghetti with garlic toast, and I did eat that. If that wasn't here the next time that I came here, I'd be surprised.
Wait, did that sign influence you to order that, or is that coincidental?
It's coincidental because the special for today was spaghetti.
Okay.
But why? Is there something special about that
Well, you know what I was just thinking of?
What?
This reminds me... Did you ever watch The Twilight Zone growing up?
I've seen a couple episodes, yeah. Not a lot.
It was like one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
This reminds me of like an episode of The Twilight Zone. It's like a cabin in the middle of the woods. There's like kind of like a homey special Italian sausage spaghetti. And that's what you order. That's what's on the sign, you know?
Yeah.
It sort of reminds me of a Twilight Zone episode. Like I could imagine leaving, and then once we walked out the door, not being able to get back in and being like, this is abandoned.
Yeah.
Nobody's here. And then looking it up later and it's not here. It's off the map.
Yeah. A normal roadside cabin restaurant serving Italian sausage spaghetti with garlic. Is that close?
Yeah.
That's close.
Yeah,
right?
you're trying to do Rod Serling.
Yeah, am I doing it?
You're entering a dimension of sight.
You're entering a
dimension
cabin.
of sound. Dimension of mind.
A dimension of spaghetti.
It does seem like that type of place. It's like a dreamy kind of like almost nightmare-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super dreamy. It's super dreamy in here. Especially just, like I said, I think the biggest shock for me is like when you come into like a place like that. Like I've been to like, I grew up in Oregon, so like I've been like, I've traveled along like, and like been to like roadside places and like diners and like
Big
pizza
Bear
places.
Diner, or Black Bear Diner.
Sure, I've been to like tons of places like that with my family. But like, so when you go in, you're like, this is probably like a huge place where just like everyone that comes through just like, it's like super packed, but it's like kind of cozy in here. Like, I don't know, like comparative to like the other places I've been to, it's like pretty homey. And and there's just like, it just seems like, it just seems, it's a little creepier for that reason to me.
Yeah, I totally get that vibe.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, I'm going to take my glass up to them so they have it.
Oh, okay.
But, do you want to go check out that place where the trays were getting thrown?
Okay.
I told you about?
Yeah.
So, okay. Right here is the coffee machine. This is also a coffee machine.
Okay.
But this is where they were standing, and these are the trays that would come and smack the coffee machine.
All right.
So this is obstructing the view for Jean.
So Jean wants to look into the kitchen.
Maybe what happens is, so this is what happens. So right back here, it used to be a separate building.
Oh, okay.
Now it's like been combined into one building.
Yeah.
So when this was a separate building, Rick believes that Jean lived in that building.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes she's standing there and she wants to keep an eye on the mountain.
Right.
And be like, I still want to see if my lover's coming back.
Right.
I don't know what his name was.
Yeah.
So she's looking towards there, and if someone's standing right here, their dumb ass is in her way, and she gets pissed and she'll throw trays like, move, dude.
Oh, yeah.
So she's trying to look when she's back at where she lived.
Yeah.
And other times she'll sit where you were sitting in that corner and look out at the mountain.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what I would do if I were trying to like move.
Just stop.
Just sweeping trays across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It makes like plenty of sense to me.
I don't know what the rules are for like ghosts and like touching people and touching items, but it seems like they're better at moving items than they are at like pushing people. I feel like.
Yeah.
That's a thing, right? Because they could she could just like push the person that's in the way, I guess, too. But.
Or glasses. I think that sometimes it's a form of communication.
Yeah.
So they want to just be like, I just want to let you know I'm here.
There's a very creepy carousel in the bar, too.
Really?
Yeah, look at that.
Oh my god.
Like a chandelier thing. That's amazing. It's basically like a chandelier that has like a rotating like oh, and it just turned off.
Weird. Well, I'd say we go check that corner out again.
Oh, great. Okay. Alright, you sit in the spot this time.
It feels darker
It is darker.
than before. I'm gonna sit in the corner, yeah.
All right, what are you feeling?
Well,
let's just let it sit for a little bit because you're not going to feel anything right away. And you're not going to notice until you leave either.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll catch something on the audio too. So let's recap a little bit about Jean probably, right?
Okay.
Like
what have we learned?
What have we learned about Jean? Probably, let's just assume, worked here. Maybe it was the madam.
Yeah.
Here?
Because she lived in the side.
Yeah, why would you live in the side building? Like, only so many people can live here, right?
Yeah.
Maybe is waiting for somebody to come.
Yes.
Maybe she's waiting for customers to come. Maybe, like, that's a thing. Or...
Maybe.
No.
But why would she be so jealously protective?
That's true.
It's probably a significant other.
Yes, it has to be something important that she's waiting for. Mm-hmm. Maybe she's just like a mad lady too. Like maybe she just gets angry about stuff. Like if you're like running a bordello, like you're probably just like frustrated by everyone's incompetence all the time.
Can you imagine dealing with that many women?
Yeah,
I am a woman.
and traveling men too, like coming through. You have to like deal with everything. Just managing a business.
Perverts.
You gotta deal with
and you're dealing with all these kind of like young, pretty, slutty women, and they're catty. Mm-hmm. You know, I could see, and I could also see being the madam, so you're not really the desirable one.
Yeah.
And having that kind of like eat away your self-confidence a little bit.
Yeah.
And then this lover is gone.
Yeah.
And they're not coming back. And you're watching lust, constant lust, but you have a lost love, which is something itself entirely different.
Right.
I don't know. I could totally understand that, like, mourning.
I can see the frustration.
And frustration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. And that desperation of, like, if she's standing there and someone's blocking her way, she's like, move, I want to be able to see him if he comes down.
Yeah.
And they change the title, and she's like, no, he has to know the name.
Yes.
Like, she is really confident that he's looking to find her, but he hasn't come back.
That he will come back, yeah.
Yeah, but he hasn't yet.
But he hasn't. Also, I was realizing if she like ran the place, she would sit in the back here and she would want to see what was going on in that direction as well. Yeah. So that's possible too, right?
Totally.
Yeah. I don't like this door. That's like there's a door like right behind you.
Yeah, there's a door right behind us.
I just don't like that there's a door right behind
So where we're sitting, just in case it's not clear, we are in a corner booth. I am sitting in Jean's favorite spot next to a window where she would look towards Mount Hood.
Yeah.
And to my right, behind me, there is a door.
Yeah.
And Milan is getting a bad vibe.
I'm getting a bad vibe. I just don't like doors. I don't like the door up there.
Especially, I want to see it from your point of view.
Now you can see how scary it is.
Yeah, how scary it is.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, oh, this.
I'll look one more time.
Oh my god, what if it was open?
Yeah. I think it is a little bit more open than it was before. Does it look creaked open? It's not creaked open. No, it's not. You're going to say that it is, but it's not.
No, I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
I'm just so curious to go up there. But he says it's just storage.
Yeah. Well, if you can figure it out.
We just go up there and we're like, fuck it, Rick. What are you going to do? We're already done.
Yeah.
Kick us out. You're going to find us? We're broke. Well, what do you think?
Pretty scary, I would say. I'd say if I go in the bathroom and the paper towel and something goes off, then I'll be very scared.
Yeah.
I'm saying 6 out of 10 scary right now.
6, yeah, I would say that's a fair judgment.
I'd say 6 out of 10
6 out of 10. I think part of it's a sad, melancholy story of the ghost here, of Jean.
That's only one of the ghosts, too. There's 2 others. We don't even know what's going on with them.
Yeah, we don't know about them as much.
Yeah, well, we know about Mike.
We speculate quite a bit about Mike. We feel like we know him. He's like a family friend. Kind of an idiot, but you love him anyway.
Yeah.
Peter, though.
I
think Peter is probably the cowboy.
You think so?
Yeah, I think Mike is probably the miner.
Is it possible that Peter and, what's her name, Jean?
Jean?
Yeah, maybe that's a thing. Is that possible?
Lovers?
Maybe.
But they keep missing each other?
I guess why would they be in the same place? They're dead in the same place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
True.
But unless maybe that was Rick. I just saw someone walk through the kitchen.
Oh boy, don't do that.
No, it was just like really fast. But the cook already left.
Yeah, I think it's Rick. It's definitely Rick.
It could be Rick.
Yeah.
It was really fast though.
Oh my god. Jean's not fast. Jean's not a fast lady.
Yeah, but we don't know
takes her
much about
time.
Peter.
Oh god, don't let's not even start on Peter. Listen, if anything happens, Mike's gonna protect us. That's all I know.
You trust Mike?
I trust Mike. I trust Mike. Mike's a good guy. Okay.
I know.
Mike's a good guy. Okay.
But what if he's Ike?
If he's Ike, then different story. We gotta get the hell out of here.
I have never met an Ike.
I've never met an
at
Ike, and I never want to meet an Ike. So
me neither.
I'm not.
Fortunately, I've never met a Mike. An Ike.
The first Ike that I meet is not going to be a ghost. I'll tell you that much.
No.
I guarantee you that.
You're just hoping.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I've never met an Ike that I trust.
Yeah.
But I've also
just
never met an Ike.
Yeah.
And I hope I never do.
No, this isn't the night to meet one.
This is not the night to meet. If your name is Ike, you can fuck off.
No, don't say that. Listen, what's Ike gonna do anyway? Ike's a nerd.
I don't think so. I don't think Ike is a good guy.
Yeah, Ike's a nerd, dude.
But if he's Mike, he's the man.
Mike's the man.
Yeah. If he's Mike,
Yeah.
he's cool.
Mike's
he's probably
gonna take
drinking
care
a
of
cheap
us.
beer. He hasn't shaved in at least 3 days.
Yeah, he's wearing
And-
flip-flops, I think.
Yeah, he has stains on his shirt
Yeah.
from like chicken wings.
Yeah. He died like 20 years ago. He didn't even die that long
He
ago.
didn't die that recently.
Yeah.
I mean, he died fairly recently.
Yeah.
And you do his voice so well.
Yeah. Hey, it's me. Should I do another voicemail?
It sounds like Carl almost from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's how I picture Mike.
It's a little bit, I do a little bit of Stallone I do a little bit of Rocky. That's my, I'll do another voicemail from Mike. Hey, it's Mike. I noticed you guys are still hanging out. I just want to know how much longer you're gonna be here. If somebody could watch my Miller High Life for me, I'm gonna try to get some. I'm gonna try to get Miller High Life. I think we're gonna try to get this milkshake machine working in the back. They told me not to touch it, but I'm really feeling a milkshake right now. And
I get clumsy. Sometimes I throw trays.
yeah, sometimes hey, I gotta fess up. There's no Gene.
Anymore.
I killed Gene. He killed everyone. I think Mike killed Gene, the ghost of Gene, because I didn't feel anything in that seat, and I don't think you are going to either.
No.
And I
Unless
think
I get up and she's like, it's fucking Ike.
Yeah.
He did this.
I gotta fess up. I killed Gene, and there's no Peter. It was just me, the cowboy outfit.
What if Mike is like DID, like dissociative identity?
Yeah.
And he is Gene and Peter
he's
and Ike and Mike.
Yeah, but he died in like 2000. He's just like, he just has these weird delusions.
That would make sense because they did take this over in like 2001 was when they changed the name.
Yeah.
So that's when they started noticing things. So like if he died in 2000.
I think he died in like 1999. Like he's a 90s guy.
Yeah.
He's a late 90s guy.
Late 90s. He is.
And he's the one sitting in the booth dressed like in a dress. It's like,
He's like, I'm Gene right now.
Hey. Hey,
What's my lover
Gene.
It's me, Gene.
I wish my lover would come down the mountain. No.
He was so handsome.
He was handsome, and then he runs around and he goes behind the bar and he's wearing a cowboy outfit. Now he's like, "It's me, Peter."
His voice doesn't change or his personality.
No, his personality. This is all he does is change his ghost clothes, basically.
Yeah, he's still Mike, but he's just saying different things.
Yeah. It's
Peter,
It's
I'm a
Peter.
cowboy.
And then he's like talking shit about all the other ghosts. He's like, I think Peter got into the milkshake machine again. I think he's been making late night milkshakes. And honestly, I think he's crashing in the back room right now. I heard the bots clanging in the back. And
he was back there, he's clanging. Did you hear that?
Did you hear that? He's like trying to scare other people, even though he's a ghost.
he sees, or sometimes he talks to Peter and Gene, even though they're all in his imagination.
Yeah.
So he sees like the cook standing there. He's like, "Watch this, Gene. Wait till you see this." And he's throwing just trays.
Hey, Gene, come on, hey.
I love that voice so much. I hope that's how Mike talked.
Yeah, I think it is. Okay.
But if it was Ike?
But if it was Ike, I don't know who Ike is.
Ike could be a sinister guy.
Ike's a sinister guy for sure.
Ike, you know who I picture being like Ike? Yeah. I don't know if Ike is like a Russian name, but for some reason I picture like this Russian mobster. Yeah. Like an older, not here to fuck around, fine beheading people, gutting people, no problem. Bordello owning.
Yes.
Bodies under the floorboards. Ike is not a good guy, and he feels no sympathy.
He's just a mob boss. He's just a Russian mob boss from like...
Mike is just a lovable idiot. He's like everybody's favorite uncle.
Yeah. I think Mike died accidentally in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, I think he tripped on something. He choked on a meatball.
Oh shit,
I'm choking on me. Somebody help. I'm about to become a ghost.
I'm gonna haunt this place forever.
Somebody better help me or I'm gonna haunt this place forever.
I'm gonna get lonely. I'm gonna make up Gene.
I'm gonna get lonely. That's threatening them. He's like, oh, trust me, I'm gonna get lonely, so I'm gonna get this meatball out of my chest.
It's not gonna be one ghost, it's gonna be 3 or 4.
You're gonna see the last of Mike.
Could be Mike or Ike. Oh my god, what if Ike is his alter ego?
Oh yeah, that could be it, yeah. So that's Mike doing Ike. Mike is just doing Ike. Yeah, so just Mike doing Ike.
So, okay, Mike is conscious of Ike, which is his alter ego. He's like, that's Bad Mike.
Yeah. He calls him Bad Mike. He doesn't even know his own nickname.
So when I drop the end, you don't want to see me.
You don't want to see me when I become Bad Mike. You mean Ike? What?
Don't say his name.
Is that what people are calling him?
That's not his name.
I wanted distinctly to be Bad Mike. That's what I wrote in the bathroom stall. No, Bad like Mike Ike. Was here. I think people are just saying it's Ike or something.
Oh shit! I'm gonna piss off Bad Mike.
Yeah. Bad Mike's not gonna want to hear about this. He's so dumb. He doesn't even have multiple personality. He just forgets that these different people are him.
I like to think that Mike is conscious of his alter ego Ike, and that's when he's feeling testy. Yeah. He's like, oh.
He's scared.
I'm feeling it coming on.
I think it's happening. I'm getting angry.
And then suddenly
you won't like me when I'm angry.
I'm dropping the M.
I'm dropping the M. I'm not Mike anymore. I'm Ike. Hello, it's me, Ike.
Totally, yeah. That's the only time he actually changes his accent.
Hello.
But he's not conscious of Gene or Peter.
No.
It's just he's like, I'm a cowboy, I'm Peter.
He just thinks he's them.
Hey. Yeah. And he's like, oh, my lover.
Yeah. Oh, my long-lost mountain lover. When will he come home? He's like wearing a bonnet. He's dressed as like
Here I am, a fair maiden.
Here I sit alone in the moonlight again, waiting in the off hours.
Don't touch me.
Hey. But there actually is a Gene touching him.
Don't touch me.
Stop touching me. Hey, what was that?
He spooks himself out.
Was that a ghost? Am I not the only one here?
But he is.
He's delusional. There's no other ghosts.
It's only Mike.
No, it's just him. Yeah. He's creeping himself out for no reason.
Sometimes he just runs into glasses and they get thrown up. Yeah. He's like, oh, sorry. And he catches it before he hits the ground.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. He's been knocking the TV every time he watches, like... It's just him, like, getting mad watching NHL games.
This is bullshit. Sorry. It's not broken. Yeah. It's not broken. It's okay.
I just hate it when the Predators win again.
That was a little bit Ike came out of it.
Sorry, Ikes. Yeah, you saw Bad Mike.
There he goes again.
He's just throwing the TV and catching it. Yeah.
That's what I think about, because they're like, it didn't break. It was so eerie.
No, it's just him.
He's like irritated. He's like, sorry, I'm
working on my anger issues.
Try not to let Ike slip.
Ike slipped through. Honestly, I think I gotta go back and be Gene for a little while.
He goes in these scenes to like calm down.
Oh, here I am again, waiting for my lost lover.
Back waiting for patient Mike. Peter. Maybe Peter is the cowboy, the like gentleman that inspires Mike. Like that's who he aspires to be.
Yeah.
So he goes back.
I think that's how he hits on women.
He's like, hey.
Yeah, because he hit on. So the story was that he hit on like the lady that used to come here, right? The lady that used
sitting
to
at the bar top.
Yeah, so that was the
cowboy.
That cowboy. That would be Mike as the
Hello.
cowboy. Hello, little lady. I don't see you around these
You can
parts.
call me Peter if you want.
Call me Peter. Don't call me Mike.
Definitely don't call me Ike.
All right.
Or Gene. Why would you call?
Hey, why would you even call me that?
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, he's like polishing a glass.
She's like, that's weird. She was walking away. He's like, hey, no.
Hey, where are you going? He's like about to throw a glass at her.
It's like, I'm sorry. That's not who I want to be.
Yeah.
Positive affirmations.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm dying.
I get you.
I'm dying. I'm getting possessed.
That would be fucked up if you just started rattling and then you were like, this is Mike.
No, actually, this is Mike. This is the real Mike.
I struggle a lot with who I want to be.
Yeah, and who I am, and who I wish I was.
The truth is, I've been Ike this whole time.
Yeah, it's my legal name.
Legally, it's Peter.
Legally, it's Peter, and truly, I want to be Gene.
Inside, I feel like.
And inside, I feel like Gene. He's
longing to find myself coming down the mountain.
It's just.
Wow, I feel like this has been really healing for Mike.
I think so.
I didn't expect to learn so much about Mike.
I think we learned more about him than we learned about any other person in this.
Yeah. When really, before I came here, I was like, I don't know shit about Mike or Peter. But
now we know.
Gene. Now it's like, fuck them.
I don't know anything about Gene anymore.
Mike, yeah, Gene, whatever. But Mike.
Mike's running the show over here.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me. Excuse me. I'm mourning here.
I'm trying to look for my love.
I'm trying to yearn. When does Ike come out? There's no reasons for him to be angry. This is when he gets mad at women.
Maybe.
It's just when he gets mad at somebody who's like flirting with him.
Maybe he impersonates Gene to be the kind of woman he thinks women are supposed to act like.
Yeah, I think so.
He's like, I'm just wistful.
Yeah, wistful.
Here I am.
Hoping.
I ain't slutty or nothing like that. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah.
I live over there.
Listen, I manage a bordello, but, I ain't one of these skanks, I'm waiting for my man, That's what a real woman would do.
Yes. Faithful.
Faithful, sexy.
He's like, oh, here I am.
Gene. You
He's like,
minx.
oh, Peter.
Peter's getting in the mix. He's doing a three-way with it.
It's all Mike.
Peter, what are you doing here? Oh, hey.
But he gets too excited and Ike kind of starts bubbling out. He's like, whoa. Calm down.
We're just trying to have a good time here, right? It's just me, Peter, and Gene.
They ain't room for four.
Yeah, this ain't a foursome, okay? This is my fantasy. Every man's
here
fantasy.
Anymore, Ike!
Alright. Well, we've probably done enough of that for your listeners.
We did. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm leaving all of that in. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
Rick is going to be so mad.
Oh, yeah.
So you didn't even...
You didn't even go into the history.
We don't think that's who Mike was. We don't know much about Mike. We know a lot about Mike.
Yeah.
We cut out everything about Gene.
I'm going to mic the bench as you leave the bench.
Oh, you're going to what?
I'll mic the bench with my mic.
Oh, okay.
As
So
you
we
leave
can
it.
catch... Don't touch me.
Don't. Okay, yeah, go. Okay. Hey, where you going? I was just getting started.
To see you go.
Hey, but I love.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Gene, Mike, or Ike, Peter.
Yeah.
It's been real.
It's been real.
Thank you.
One last slap of the bench. Oh.
What if it was wide open?
I would run out. Go.
I don't know.
Okay.
What was that?
That was genuine though. I want to leave.
I hope you enjoyed your evening with Milan Patel and I at the Barlow Trail Roadhouse in Welches, Oregon. You can find Milan on Twitter at Milan_Patel. That's at MILAN_PATEL. You can also find him on Instagram at Milan3191. That's at MILAN3191. If you live in the Portland area, you can find Milan at a handful of upcoming shows. On July 3rd, Milan is performing for Stavros Halkias, a Brooklyn comedian and host of the popular podcast Cumtown, at the Funhouse Lounge in Portland, Oregon. Milan is also performing in Portland's Funniest Person competition at Helium on Tuesday, July 10th, as well as a show at Clinton Street Theater on Sunday, July 15th. If you love this podcast and haven't yet, please subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and let us know what you love about this show. It probably seems silly, but it does help us out tremendously. Be sure to check us out on social media too. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at LitDarkPodcast, or search for our Facebook page simply titled Laughing in the Dark. We have brand new merchandise available now on our website. If you're interested, check it out at litdarkpodcast.com. That's LITDARKpodcast.com. Special thanks for this episode goes to Sara Schneider, my manager, Jonathan Cooper, my graphic designer, Randall Lawrence, my rock star producer, Nick Wilson at Bridge City Media and Design for the amazing work with the merchandise, Dan Stutzman for being you and all you do, Milan Patel, my guest, and an extra special thanks to all of you for listening.
River City Podcast Federation.